Well, good evening, everybody. This is Doug Crow speaking, and we are going to do a very fast and I believe quite informative webinar today. And it's called 48 Hours to Thousands of Targeted Views or Hits to Your Landing Page, and hopefully creating a crowd of hungry buyers, depending if you've got good content or not. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but mainly the focus here is on traffic. How do you get targeted traffic and quality traffic directly to your website or landing page? That's what we're going to do here. So who am I? All right, well, what are we doing here? I'm going to teach you how to do this by actually showing you how authentic experts. Now, these are people who they don't necessarily have to blog or Facebook or tweet and all that stuff, but they all sell and they leverage their brand. And of course, they do this not exclusively, but predominantly through connecting through the media. You've seen these people out there. I'm going to give you some big examples and then some smaller examples of how almost anyone can leverage the national and local media to their advantage in a huge way. Now, before we get started into the meat of this, I do have to share with you a few things you've got to do to your head in order to make this work, because like Apple did in the 80s, they didn't say, here's a new computer, or here's how the keyboard works. Here's what visual computing is. They just said think different. And if you're in business, especially with your online business, you've been taught and told and coached and fed a lot of stuff about getting traffic to your website. And I'm going to ask you to think different and put aside any notions you have or preconditions or ideas you have about using the media, and even about getting traffic in general. And I'm going to do that with this. I am going to get your brain reset with a corn kernel, not a candy corn kernel, a real corn kernel. So keep that in the back of your brain, because that corn kernel is going to be very important here in the next 10 minutes. So applications, that's what this is about. And what I mean by that is, this is something strange for a webinar. I know this is going to be weird for you. No direct sales on this webinar. Not doing it. We're going to teach and give you some great concepts, some examples. And at the very end, I don't have a buy button because you can't buy this. I can teach it to you and you can apply to work with us, but there is nothing to sell here. So keep that in relax, basically. Put your credit card aside, because we can't even take it right now. We're going to here to talk and learn and share. And if you want to apply, if you see something as a value to you, then you're more than welcome to contact us. House rules in this are very simple. This is not a get-rich-quick thing for people, nor is it for somebody who's a fake expert, or even somebody with no product or service. It doesn't make so sense to send thousands of targeted hits to a website if you don't have a product or service. If it's just for your ego, then that's not what this is all about. Now, quick confession of how this works and the examples you'll see here. I have an advantage over most people. I have a proven experience and a professional team and the credentials to do all this, what I'm going to be sharing with you. Not everybody can do what I'm sharing. And one person that helps you think different, of course, would be this man, Albert Einstein, who said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Now think about that. All right? We, you, me, okay? We can't solve our problems. Not by just saying, oh, I'm going to do more of the same thing or just do a better job. We've got to wipe all that away and just use completely new thinking and new ideas to get something going for you. So a little bit about me. My name is Doug Crow. I'm a former ABC radio host. I'm a business owner, and I'm the founder of Author Your Brand. We help people create, position, publish, market, launch best-selling books. I'm also a journalist with Newswire, which is going to be really critical here in a second. Because what I do is I work with professionals, entrepreneurs, to do a couple of major things. Who out there is overwhelmed? Who out there has really just way too much to do and not a lot of time to do it? Okay, most of us, right? Yeah, I see some hands going up here. Most of us do not have enough time to get everything done that we want to get done. And to be a recognized expert on top of all that in terms of managing your clients, running your operations, and getting this recognized authority thing done, there's not many ways to do it. One way that I'm going to share with you today is using the press, using the media in a massive way to leverage and to really explode your brand and your book and your business onto the national or even just the regional scene. Okay, so what are you doing right now? This is what everybody is taught, myself included. This is what we're taught to do. We're taught to get a website, build a website, spend some money on it, make sure it's pretty, make sure it works, make sure it's got some information there, because you know, you've got to have a website. If you're going to be online, you cannot really be online effectively without one. And if it doesn't work well for you to bring traffic, then you better do something else, like maybe get on LinkedIn. And you can just post your own stuff on LinkedIn, but if you want it done well, hire someone to help you craft a good message, put some pictures up there, some posts, and some engagement tools, right? And of course, you've got to spend time doing all that. And if you had a website at LinkedIn, is that enough stuff to get people to come to you and hire you? Well, most likely not, right? I mean, you need more than that. So perhaps we should have a YouTube channel. Now, video is the way of the future here on the internet. So let's get a YouTube channel going, right? Put some money in that, put some time in that. This is starting to get a little bit expensive now, time-wise. We got 25 hours a week into our business. Maybe we should blog. Maybe we should blog an hour a day, or 5 hours a week, or less, or more, something. We need to have some content out there. Blogs are relatively inexpensive to put up, of course. You can get a WordPress site and put up a blog in a matter of a few days or a few hours, depending how you want it to look. But to use the blog, to write some content, or have someone else write content for you, post pictures, SEO the blog, get it shared, get it posted on back to LinkedIn and YouTube, and connecting these things takes some time and skill. You know, up to 30 hours a week. Okay, if the blog isn't working well enough for you, perhaps you should be on Facebook. Doing Facebook well is a multi-billion-dollar industry, but even becoming a decent player there, you're going to spend a lot more than this. You'll probably spend just $1,000 positioning, getting good photos, graphics, design elements up there to make your Facebook profile look professional. And then to post, again, it's like just like the blog. You got to put content out there, ask questions, engage, join groups, provide, ask questions, answer questions, and be active on these social media channels. So no matter where you are in this glob of stuff here, website, blog, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, you've got to spend time and money being seen online, right? If that's not enough, you got to, you know, rise above everybody else. You probably need to put some SEO money behind it. Search engine optimization. Okay, you've got to make sure your blog stands out amongst the other blogs. Now, does all this work for most people? Not really. I've been teaching people and sharing with them and performing for them, creating best-selling books so that their book makes them stand out amongst their industry. And to do a book well, not a bestseller in a weekend garbage or you know, just a 12-page Kindle book, but a well-done, professionally written, edited, proofed, best-selling book, hardcover, can cost you upwards of, you know, $15,000, $20,000 to produce. And that takes months to position it well, to get it crafted, and to launch it, and make sure it actually works and does something for you. That does help people stand out. If you're doing any combination of these things or all of these things, what are your results? How much are you actually earning from all this time and effort in your business? Think about that. And I've got the answers, and it's not a pretty picture, because I did some research on it, and the majority of even best-selling authors, even people with a bestseller in a day, the majority of them are earning less than minimum wage from their book. Okay, if you're doing more than that, you're one of the lucky few. Regardless of where you are, whether you're learning a decent amount of money from all this stuff or not enough, there's one thing that you all need. This is the hard part. This is the hard part. Because if you think about it, if you really sit back and think about what you am taught to do and what you are doing, you are living in a field of dreams. Remember that movie? We're living in a field of dreams, right? We're taught, if you build it, they will come. Remember that movie? It was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was inspirational. You know, Kevin Costner's this farmer out in Iowa, and he gets his voice that tells him, if you build it, they will come. And he's told to plow up a large chunk of his profitable cornfield and plant a baseball diamond for some unknown reason. And what happens is, of course, these baseball players from the Chicago Black Sox from the turn of the century come up, and these ghosts come start playing baseball, and it revitalizes, you know, His Feeling in the Nation, and it's a beautiful movie. Okay? If you build it, they will come. This is what we're taught as marketers. If you build a good website, if you build a big blog, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, if you build all this stuff, your audience will come. Now, if I'm Dr. Phil and I'm doing intervention on your marketing, I'm going to ask you this question. How's that working for you? Well, it's not, guys. It's just not. Okay? You're trying to do something else. Okay, I built all that stuff. Maybe I should try advertising, Doug. You know, I've got Facebook ads, Google ads, ad swaps, banner ads, things running out there. How about getting noticed? Advertising seems to work for the big boys, right? I mean, we see major companies spending hundreds of billions of dollars in advertising. Well, that's possible. In my world, advertising, it's annoying. I'm on a website reading something, and there's a pop-up. There's a annoying ad in the side, or those little pixel things that follow you around. I go on Amazon, it's 4 in the afternoon, and by 6 o'clock, it's following me around on Facebook and everywhere else. This is the one thing I looked at. You know, it's irritating. It's very annoying. And to do it well, to do a good job with advertising is difficult, okay? It gets very, very confusing. There's statistics, there's words, there's so many different variations on how you can actually use advertising. Unless you've got a professional team running that for you, like most people, you blow money. You waste money on guessing what's going to happen to you if you advertise on Facebook or Google or YouTube, whatever you're doing. So because of all that, to cut through the confusion, it becomes very, very expensive. Eventually, marketers with deep pockets can wade their way through that and get measurement, get statistics and how their ads are running. Okay, and that's critical, because if you're actually tracking your stuff, you can make money advertising. I'm not going to discount that, but ask yourself these questions. All right, do you have any traffic? Number one. If you do, where is your traffic coming from? Do you know? If you do know, who are these people? Okay, how old are they? Are they your actual targeted buyers? Are they someone surfing? Is it a robot? Okay, how long do they stay on your site? You know, why did they leave after they popped into your site? Okay, did they click on something when they were there? And did they buy something? If they did, hooray for you. But if they didn't buy anything, do you know why they didn't? Do you have a clear understanding of why somebody clicked away from your site? Because quite frankly, out of the 100 people that come to your site, every 100 people that come to your site, generally speaking, 50, 70, 80, 90, 99 of them leave, never to return. It's lost opportunity. If you don't have any tracking mechanisms for this, you are wasting most of your energy, resources, and money. It's confusing, and it's quite frankly kind of sad, okay? So these are the questions you've got to ask yourself, and you need to answer them. After you build it, it's about the traffic, guys. After you build these properties, you need quality targeted traffic, okay? And not just targeted, but targeted to you, okay? Not targeted to your industry, but targeted to your actual USP, your unique selling proposition. What it is about you that makes you different, and the people that go, yes, I want this guy, I want this person's stuff, okay? How do you get this traffic? Well, we are taught, again, a lot of things, and all these things work to some degree. There's Facebook, there's a LinkedIn, there's YouTube, there's the ads, get running Google ads or pay per action. You can go on Fiverr and buy traffic. You can do Facebook ads, and you could do ads on your blog or guest blogging. You can do podcasts and YouTube channels. You can use software to get traffic. Okay, but you're on this webinar because most likely you're not really satisfied with the traffic that you're getting right now, right? So the typical marketer, just quite frankly, is not getting the results that they expect, want, or need. I mean, we're taught this stuff, this engagement, right? Run a broadcast, do social media, and it soaks up all of our time. Not just a little bit, but a large percentage of our time is just sucked into this void of blah, 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 okay? Here's the only question you need to ask yourself as a business owner. Are you being found on page 1 of Google? Are you being found on page 1 of Google? Okay, I'm going to share with you in a few minutes how you can be found on page 1 of Google over and over and over again. okay? Hundreds of times a day in and day out, giving you thousands of targeted, high-quality hits to your website. This is instant target traffic, and here's some numbers for you. Let's suppose that we can look at 1,000 target hits to your website, and you get a decent conversion. Say you get 10%, 900 people go away, right? 100 of them go, yes, I want this thing, and it's a $97 product, right? That's easy numbers, right? That's almost $10,000 in revenue on only 1,000 targeted hits. You've got to have conversion for that, okay? But targeted traffic, you should be getting those kind of numbers. If you're not, you need to look at your conversions. Here's my new way to get high quality traffic, okay? Number one, I write quality articles that news sites want to reproduce. News, okay? This is a little bit different than what you've heard. This is not something for your targeted audience necessarily. This is for news sites, okay? They want to reproduce these articles. Then I share these articles with some select news site and syndicated companies, okay? Then these companies, these websites, share it as well. There's 2 levels of sharing going on here. It's pretty significant. This all happens automatically. Now, but what this breaks down is that if you had any kind of sales copy, and I'm talking good, all right, so high quality copy that actually does some conversion, people spend upwards of $25,000, $50,000, $300,000 I have seen for sales letters that actually convert. Right, this is for people who understand business. Like, you know what, if I'm going to be doing a campaign, direct mail campaign, online campaign, significant one, where I'm getting good conversions from it, I'm going to hire a really good copywriter to make sure that things converts. Because in the earlier example, remember, most people go away. To get your conversions from 0.1% to 3% is a huge thing for a copywriter. If they go over 2 or 3%, you're a genius. So people spend a lot of money for that. In this case, I'm writing a converting sales article without selling at all. And this is this is where the think different thing really comes in, okay? Because what I'm doing is I'm storytelling, and the stories are done in the news. It's where people actually are already reading. They're not even being sold because they're being communicated with. Big, huge difference. Storytelling in the news, okay? This is what we're doing. So what this means is I share this very special article with the top 250 news sites around the globe. This is global. And the reason I'm able to do this is I'm a journalist myself. In other words, the layman, the average person doesn't have the credentials to even get in this door. No credentials, there's no door. Simple as that. The news sites, number one, have to like my article, okay? It has to be high quality. If they don't like it, doesn't really get shared and picked up. It goes nowhere, okay? When it does go, it goes viral. I'll give you some examples of that in a minute. This is why it's vital to have the right kind of article written for it to go viral. You've got to have that in place. There's a big differentiation here I want you to be aware of, because some of you are already thinking, oh, Doug, I've seen this. These are those things called press releases. I don't write press releases. A press release, Marcia in accounting got promoted to operations this week, or ABC company has a new widget coming out, or Frank Jones from ABC Automotive was voted auto mechanic of Poughkeepsie this month. No, we don't do press releases. Those are things that are people who are talking about themselves. They're boring, and you and I both know that nobody reads those. I don't do those. Press releases they're kind of okay a little bit for SEO, but nobody really reads them. Doesn't really get you what you want, which is targeted traffic, right? We craft stories that people actually read and take action on. And get your buy buttons found. That's the bottom line. I don't care about getting huge amounts of SEO without this thing. Without getting buy buttons, some branding's helpful, but I want people to actually click on a buy button for you. So consider how this works, right? How many of you already commented, liked, or shared a news article, right? Raise your hands here if you've ever clicked on a article and said, hey, share it. I just read something really cool. I'm going to share this with my social media stream, right? We've all done that. It's sort of fun. Hey, sharing is caring, they say. Whoever coined that phrase. Now it's your turn. So you've already done this for other people. Now Let's start doing it for you. Let's get someone sharing your stuff. Instead of you sharing somebody else's stuff, let's get other people, other high quality news sites to share your content. The results, man, this is the fun part. Highly targeted clicks to your website, giving you some of the strongest SEO juice you can possibly get. Okay, this is called a backlink from an authority website. Look it up. A backlink, a link on your page, on your website, from ABC, from Fox, from Miami Herald, whatever it is. When those people are putting links back to you on their site, man, that is strong stuff. That is not your brother-in-law sharing your Facebook post. That helps, but who's a better referral? A friend or a news organization, right? That's powerful stuff. That's what we're talking about here. So these are the referrals we want to get. Backlinks from authority news sites. The results of this is that you get your stuff shared over and over again. You get hundreds of these backlinks on your stuff. It's beautiful. All right. This is what we're talking about, the corn kernel. We're coming back to that. I told you about the corn kernel. We planted that corn kernel in the ground. We built a website. We added a blog to it. We maybe did YouTube and Facebook, and we added more content to our little corn stalk. And we're taught that if you build it, they will come, right? You spend all this time and money building these web properties. What are you earning from it? Here's the problem. You see that? That's your field of dreams. I call it a field of nightmare, because everybody in your industry is taught the same thing. So your website, your corn stalk is in an acres and acres of other corn stalks. Let me ask you a question. Look at that picture. Which one's yours? Hard to tell the difference, isn't it? Okay, the problem is worse than you think. Sorry to tell you this, but in your little world, wherever you live, okay, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like in Springfield, Illinois. This is what it looks like in Los Angeles, California, right there. Actually, quite frankly, this is Los Angeles. Okay, this is your real field. I just showed you one plot there, but in reality, everybody everywhere is doing this, not just in your city or in your state, but in your country. Okay, everywhere, everyone's doing the same thing. Where's your corn stalk in that photo? You can't even see it. You can't even see it. There's corn there. Okay, you are lost. You are the proverbial tree that falls in the forest and nobody's around to hear it crash. You're just not standing out. Do you stand out? No, you don't. There's your little buy button, that little teeny weeny blue buy button in a sea of nothingness. So let's talk about what we can do about this. This is you. This is your content. This is your media. That looks familiar, right? It looks very familiar. It's your corn stalk, right? You built this little pipe, this little one corn stalk in the field. Okay, let's dominate your market instead. Let's take this whole thing, wipe it away, and do something different. Let's think bigger. Let's not do one corn stalk, guys. Let's do what I'm going to call the hub and spoke system, getting your buy button found. Okay, I want hundreds and hundreds of news stations backlinking to your website. I want ABC. I want the Anchorage Daily News. I want the Boston Globe, Fox, NBC, ABC, Worth, regional newspapers, everybody backlinking to you. Their bigger sites backlinking to your smaller one. And once I do this, I'm going to do it again and again and again and again. And I'm going to do it multiple layers, multiple times, so it gets shared by thousands of people. Now your buy button's starting to get a little bigger. Okay, here's what this all means. Your authority backlinks, those things, those news stations who are backlinking to your site, get your websites ranked higher, get your articles ranked higher, get your landing pages ranked higher, get your sales pages ranked higher. And that gets your buy buttons found. Because right now, no one's hitting those things. Okay, that gives you more sales. It helps you beat and rise above your competition. Let me give you an example. Here's a guy that we worked with a while ago, Lane Etheridge, great guy. School teacher, fun person, decided he wanted to basically be a thought leader and decided, okay, what am I going to do that? So he wrote a book, and basically we said, okay, let's do your book and let's do some news on it. So he went from, in just a matter of months, okay, from zero to charging consulting fees upwards of $25,000 as a result of my news articles. We did a program with him on his book, made him an Amazon #1 best-selling author in the category business mentoring and coaching, the exact category he needed to be found in. Now, business mentoring and coaching was dominated by people like Neil Ferrazzi, who was recognized as a top business author for 3 years in a row. Lane's book blew him away, pushed Neil down to #2, and Lane became #1. Here's a gentleman who, my gosh, former Las Vegas comp to a best-selling author. Now he's on Fox News almost on a weekly basis, okay? Randy has gone from basically being this, good guy, great speaker, to becoming a national celebrity in his niche. Matter of fact, in the past week alone, this is going to date this webinar a little bit, but I was so impressed with what happened because of our news articles, because of some PR we did with him. He went from, take a look at this, in 48 hours, okay, his little video clip here got 750,000 organic post views, 750,000 views on a three-minute video rant, okay? He's on Fox News almost every weekday now. How many of you would like 700,000 views on one of your videos organically? What would that do for your business? Is that targeted traffic? Is that quality traffic? What can you do with that kind of traffic on your website? It's huge. It's massive, okay? This is a result of becoming an Amazon best-selling author, pushing a book into the limelight, making it #1, and then leveraging that, not just riding those laurels, because those best-selling accolades, they may not stick around for weeks or months or years, guys. It may just come and go. But once you do it, how are you going to leverage that branding, leverage that authority, that credibility into something bigger, into more money and more notoriety and more authority for you? Those are the results that you need and probably want. Okay, how would you like to be on Fox News every weekday? Man, we haven't even scratched the surface on this yet. We're very, very excited to work with them. Here's another client, one of my clients early on, a couple of years ago actually, wanted to rank for female leadership. Okay, female leadership, pretty tight competition here. Okay, on that term, female leadership, over 16 million returns, right? You have this like lottery numbers here. How would you like to win the lottery? Okay, geez, I want to rank on page 1 of Google for something which has a competition of 16 million returns at press time. We ranked #1 on the internet, on Google, for female leadership. Okay, that's the kind of results we get when we do high quality news articles shared properly. This one even beat out Forbes, right? Our news story, #1 spot. A little bit longer keyword string here, but doesn't matter. 593,000 results are for this term, and our news story is #1 slot. On the same term, Forbes went down #5. This guy, Jim Graham, we did a program for him. He's doing an overseas global traffic seminar. Really cool thing in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And a lot of our news is international, right? We get these news stories shared globally. Well, in 48 hours, because of our news articles that was written professionally, printed and distributed to recognized news channels, and then syndicated and shared to hundreds of other news channels, this gentleman got over 5,000 hits to his website in under 48 hours. And this is for a high-ticket product. This is a big deal. Imagine a scenario for yourself, guys. Those are my examples that I can have done for other people. Let's talk about you. What if your article happened to be shared by hundreds or thousands of times on an authority news site or sites? Okay, if you had 5,000 hits to your website and you only had a $97 product with a 10% conversion on it, what would that get you? Well, it'd be $50,000. Does that sound like a stretch? Sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it? Absolutely not. What got me there was, what I've been doing this for myself and my clients, are these quality news articles that are shared thousands of times. And then they're positioned right and with high quality, readable, and shareable content with a proven formula. I'll talk about the formula here in a second. And with my credentials. And now it's really how you are positioned. It's not just being published. It's the positioning of how you are perceived. We're going to talk about that quite a bit here, and how you're talked about by authoritative and trusted sources who talk about you in the right way. Okay, because a lot of news is negative. We're going to talk about you in the right way. And here's the 5-step formula for saying it right. I'm going to teach you the specifics of this proven formula right now. Here they are. Number 1, follow the trending news. Number 2, create compelling commentary about that news. Make sure you are positioned in the story. Make sure your story gets published in the news, and get those other news agencies to share your story. That's it. Trending, compelling, positioning you in the news. Trending and compelling, not just any old news, no press releases here. Trending topics, topics that people are already speaking about. Make sure your commentary is unique. Excuse me, a little water break here. Make sure your commentary is very interesting. Okay, don't just be, oh yeah, I agree with that. Say something interesting, different, or controversial. Make sure it's positioned uniquely and to your benefit, and to your client's benefit. Okay, get it published and get it shared. So what's a trending topic? Whatever people are talking about at the time. Again, not to date this webinar, but gosh, just recently Donald Trump was started to say he's going to run for president, or there could be a celebrity thing, or even a tragic event. Whatever's trending in the news is hot, and people read about what's trending. They want to know what's going on in the world, right? People somehow, and for some reason, they just love following popular and trending stories when it's the water cooler conversations we have at work. Now, don't worry at all if the trending stories are negative or positive. It does not matter in the way we position things, because we're either going to expand on a positive story, or we will absolutely reverse the negative, so you are seen in a positive light. Okay, so your audience is already following these events and stories, and then sharing these events from other news sources. So following the news for people, I don't know, it's really an escape from their everyday lives. I think that's why people look at stuff. It's not about them, it's about other people, because it gives them something else to think about, perhaps. Here's our magic. Here's what we do. We're going to combine your expertise, right, what you are good at, with a trending news article, the true news topic. We're going to combine those two things. Now, why would we do those things? Well, instead of trying to distract people from what they're already reading about, we're going to get in the way of where they're already looking. Okay, this of the 45, 50 minutes on this webinar, guys, this is it. Let me just repeat that. Instead of trying to distract them, hello, this is what advertising is. Instead of trying to distract people from what they're already reading about, let's just get in the way of where they're already looking. They're already reading news stories. Why not just give them more of that? Okay? They call it newsjacking. So instead of, hijacking, we're newsjacking. Get it? Taking the news and then basically using it to your advantage. The trick is to become aware of trending stories, spin your content by commenting on that story, and then most importantly, relate it to your customers, the ones who are searching for this news. Okay, step 2, create compelling opinion, please. Don't just say what everybody else is saying. Give a controversial statement about that trending story, and then relate your comment to a direct benefit you can deliver to your prospects and clients, right? Talk more about the trending story and the potential benefit to the reader rather than your product or service. Don't be a feature guy, be a benefit guy. How can I help you? Here's how, I'll give you an example in a second. We'll get to that. Your story needs to be a direct opinion about the trending topic, right? It's got to be an opinion. It can't just be, here's my stuff. Here's why my stuff is a good idea, right? And not just the topic itself, but their desired outcome. I'll give you an example in a minute if that's too ambiguous for you. But I want you to understand you've got to give thoughtful opinion. People like to read thoughtful opinion. Don't just say something that's a platitude. Oh yeah, well, I agree. You know what? I disagree. Here's why I disagree. Here's how it can benefit you. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Write an article that's a teaser. It demonstrates a beneficial payoff for the reader. And you've got to be answering this question that's in the back of their minds, right? What's in it for them? These are your future clients. You better be thinking about that all the time. After you've done step 1 and 2, that's trending topics, compelling commentary. Part 3, positioning you in the story. This is very simple. If it bleeds, it leads, right? There's bad news out there. We love seeing the car crashes and the fires and the meth, death, and mayhem. I don't know why. It's negative news. A lot of people don't watch it. But unfortunately, there's something in our psychology which makes us slow down for an accident. It's probably one of our safety mechanisms to make sure we don't get in one. But people are attracted like moth to a flame to bad news. That's where that expression came from. That's why news agencies for forever have always led with the negative, controversial stuff. If it bleeds, it leads. Do you want to be associated with that? No. But when you're positioned properly, you're not the villain, you're the hero. So if there's a negative story out there and we need to newsjack it, we're going to make you the hero of that story. I'll give you another example of that in a moment. Step 4, after you're positioned properly, it's time to publish you in the news and submit your story into the news channels. Now, there are ways to do that. There's ways to do that. Who's doing this publishing is critical, right? How do you get on ABC and Fox and NBC? Okay, you can't. They have people to do that, right? But you can do. There's a lot of free things out there, right? You need to have credentials to do it. There are 2 types of submissions, basically 2 big ones out there. There's maybe some variations of these, but the 2 major ones, there's real news and there's garbage. There's real news agencies, there's real syndication networks, sharing networks, and there's garbage ones out there. If you searched and found some, hey, you can submit a press release to this, place, most likely if you can do it for free or for a few dollars, it's garbage. And Google knows that, and they don't even index those. They don't share them. They don't like them because they know people are just trying to sell their garbage. So don't do free content farms for your news articles. It'll hurt you. Only work with real news agencies, okay? Step 5, the last one after you've actually published it, is sharing it. Getting that thing syndicated to other news networks and socially shared, commented, getting engagement with your articles is critical. Getting the thing to blow up and to rank in the search engines. You saw my examples of how we ranked on the first page and very often on the first slot on Google for our keywords. That happens organically, authentically, and with the right backlinks, with news backlinks, okay? And to do that, your article has to be newsworthy. It has to be shareable, okay? Which means other people, especially the media, have to share it willingly. They've got to say, yes, this is good, interesting content. I'm going to put this on my news channel because we're looking for good, compelling comment and stories and opinions. So we're going to share it, okay? It must relate to basic human psychology, basic human interests, such as holidays, right? That's a topic there's a holiday every month for something. Or it could relate to celebrities. People love following celebrities. Any of your news that could relate to celebrities will be helpful. And actually anything. It could be sports, politics, or human interest, science, disasters, really any news that can be linked to your business. And this is one of my specialties. I can link anybody's business to the news. And I'll give you some really weird examples of that in about 2 seconds. Here's one. Let's say a celebrity gets arrested. And let's say, perhaps you're a life coach. Your story would comment on the arrest. If some celebrity got arrested, that's big news. Our news story would lead about that celebrity arrest. But the commentary in that news story that we write would come from you, our client. So you'd be commenting on that arrest, how your solution could have prevented it, right? You could have saved Justin Bieber from being arrested, right? That's linking you with a celebrity, linking you with trending topics. It's massive, massive SEO, okay? Think about that. Is that a trending topic? Can you imagine being involved and being the commentator on that trending topic and getting it shared by thousands of websites? I can't express to you how big this is for you in terms of marketing, okay? And it's, again, turning negative into positive. Okay, let's say Mother's Day, all right? Mother's Day just happened a month or so ago here. But whatever you have, whatever you're selling, whatever it is, that is a perfect Mother's Day gift, Doug. That's it. You could be a flower shop. You could have a digital product. It's a perfect Mother's Day gift. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, Doug, I sell light bulbs. That's really not a good Mother's Day gift. I can't give mom light bulbs. Well, guess what? This is where my expertise comes in, because I'm not going to do a direct sales approach here. Well, ABC Electric has a special today on light bulbs. It's perfect Mother's Day gift. No, we craft stories. We craft a story. What if we crafted a story, and this would be obviously a true story, but we find this character, and this character is a mom in Detroit who's lost her husband in Afghanistan. She's got 4 kids. She's working 2 jobs. She has some medical bills. Don't tell me this isn't happening. In our case, it is. We find this person. We do an expose piece on them. We talk to this woman. We find out what's going on in her life, how she felt between the cracks of the social safety net, how she was unable to pay her electric bill for the past 2 months, and they shut her off. She's got candles burning. She's feeding her kids barely, struggling to make ends meet. It's a tearjerker story. It's negative. It's sad. It riles us up, and we read it because it's compelling. 2/3 of the way down the article, in comes the hero, John Smith from ABC Electric. You know what? I read about Barbara, and I knew that she fell through the safety net, and I couldn't keep sending letters to my local government, and I couldn't keep ignoring this. So I decided to act. I decided to pay Barbara's electric bill for the rest of the year. And in addition, I'm giving her a year's supply or a lifetime supply of these energy efficient light bulbs because I'm going to just do something. Ta-da! You are the hero of the story. It relates to Mother's Day. You're not selling light bulbs. You're giving them away to this poor person who's got some challenges in their life. Is that a news story that gets shared? Absolutely. And you're the hero of it. Let's take the negative one again. Let's say there's a government scandal. There's only a few of those out there. Let's say it's related to the Veterans Administration of the United States. Okay, that's never happened before. And again, you can't battle City Hall, and you certainly can't battle the federal government. You can whine and moan about it, but quite frankly, it's pretty hard to do anything about it. But it's news. People are talking about it, and we get riled up. All of a sudden, you walk in. You know what? I decided to actually do something about it. So for the month of August, 10% of all of our profits are going to the Wounded Warrior Project because I decided I can't depend on the VA to do something. Obviously, that's what the story's about. So I'm going to do something myself. I'm going to help out our veterans personally. Boom, hero of the story. Right? These are the types of stories that get shared by the news. It's where the magic occurs. When your newsworthy story, okay, is shared by others, you're not distracting people from where they're going, right? You become part of the news stream. Now your story must be shared within these exclusive news networks to do it right, okay? So right now, this past week, this past month, this past year, is your story being shared by the BBC, CNN, Fox, or even your local news organizations? Because if it's not, it's a little bit of a challenge, right? What it will get you is higher search engine rankings when you do it. This is a story that we did for Jim for his Chiang Mai program out there in Thailand. Okay, we did a story about higher education and how it could be destroying creativity and entrepreneurs. This is a trending topic written by another news agencies. We added to it. We wrote our version of the story, put Jim as a hero, and in 24 hours got over 300 views on Newswire. Okay. What happened? $17,500 in new business, okay, in 48 hours. How about this one? Solar company, selling solar panels to people, okay, pretty mundane, pretty boring. But we found a utility company in this state who put out fake data on solar, and they were exposed. And they were raked over the coals on this because it was a lobbying company that lied. And we blew up the story, exposed them further, and made our solar company the hero of the story. 1,748 hit to the landing page in 48 hours. Did they get some business from it? You bet. Over 200 grand in new business. Or this gal is esthetician in Sherman Oaks, and in just 48 hours, okay, over 2,400 views on one news site. She had over 300 referrals just on Google alone. What did this do for her as an esthetician? Well, number one, it got her a gig on NBC, and number two, within a month, she's on the TV show The Doctors. How would you like to have your news story catapult you into the major media and get seen on radio and TV. Okay, search engine ranking factors are critical. This is some search metrics. Take a look at all these things that affect your ranking on the search engines, okay? There's a bunch of things here, but the big ones, the top three, is to obviously be on Google Plus themselves, right? They want to see you on their own search engine. But the number three, the top three things are about sharing, okay? Backlinks. The number three ranking factor is the number of backlinks. So we're going to give you hundreds of high quality backlinks from recognized channels on your website. Okay, this is, am I stressing it enough? It's a really big deal. And then one last thing on this press release thing, in case you're wondering about that. Google has been up and down on this, right? They actually delisted and started to downtrend press releases on major ones. We're talking, PR Web and Business Wire and PR Log and e-releases. These guys were trending down the past year or so, while our organization was trending up because we do stories. We don't do press releases. See, Google rewards those people, those articles, those great quality articles. Those are the ones that are recognized and shared by the media giants. And there are bunches of them out there. There's the big ones you all know about, right? But there's affiliates of them, regional ones. And it's all these local ones all have websites that all add up. Now, I'll share with you my entire strategy, my 5-step formula that has earned me millions. And you can do this for yourself. You could hire a professional journalist. You could try to get authority news sites to pick up your article and beg them to share it. But quite frankly, you don't have those credentials. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And this saying is true in business, it's true in politics, it's true in getting hired, it's true in life. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So viral story writing and my credentials, who I know, is what makes this whole thing work. And we call it authority fusion. I'm infusing your authority with the news. And these are the results you're going to expect. You're going to get a lot of news channels pointing their websites to yours, plain and simple. We get your story told. It's professionally written. It's posted in Google News. And after it's posted in Google News, boy, it just goes bonkers, right? It gets shared everywhere. And this is where there we go. Yeah, here's we go. There's a bunch of places to get shared by. I mean, I can't even go through all of them. There are so many places to get shared. I can give you a scrolling of them. And this is, again, only a partial list, but there's major news and newspaper websites. Some of you have never heard of, some of you have heard of. You've heard of Ask.com. You've heard of, but you probably have not heard of Pristine Report. I never have. Trinity Digest. Editor's Pride. I've never heard of these sites. Doesn't matter. They're news sites. You've heard of the big ones. You've heard of the Fox and ABCs and NBCs. There are hundreds of affiliate news sites from around the globe, really, that all carry the branding of being an affiliate of the big 4 or 5 news agencies. We'll get your news, your story published, shared by these large organizations. And don't forget those regional ones, statewide, regional, county. They all have high quality, respected authority in the media as well as online. And we don't just stop there. It's not just news. There are plenty of industry articles, industry organizations, industry news websites, whether it's health, fitness, energy, finance, or anything that you do. Internationally, we are very big internationally, both in Asia, Europe, Australia, and of course, social sites as well. You got to share it amongst those as well. Ranking about other news is what is important, and that's to do one thing. That's so you can get found. You're not being found right now. We want your people to find you. And what this means, boom, more prospects, opt-ins, leads, and ta-da, buyers. Okay, more money for you. Now, I'm hired by some of the world's top marketers to do the same thing for them. And now you have a chance to benefit the way they do. Your website can now will have all these backlinks in just a couple of days. All right, would that be helpful for you? Absolutely. So what does this mean to you? How does this all work? It's very simple. How many of you would like to have a 45-minute online strategy meeting with me? Okay, I told you there's no sales here. and I have very limited time to do this. But if you want to find out more about this, if you want to see how you would qualify to have all this for yourself, just go to authorityfusion.com/strategy. That's it. Click on that link, schedule a call with me, and we're off to the races. You'll fill out a short form on that site, on that authorityfusion.com/strategy, and it'll ask you some questions about where you are and who you are, so that we do hop on the phone and we'll be hopping on Skype. We can go through where you are, where you want to go, and how we can possibly get you there working together. It's a private 45-minute one-on-one consultation with me to find out if we could be a good fit. And once we determine that we're a good fit, we can then talk about running or starting a business relationship where we actually write, publish, and professionally share your story, getting you thousands of clicks. And there's zero risk with this. Your story is definitely published in Google News and picked up by these big stations and hundreds of others, guaranteed. Now, okay, you might be asking yourself, how do you qualify for this? It's very simple. Fill out a survey. That's it. authorityfusion.com/strategy. Okay, that's how you qualify. That's it. That's all we look to do, is to talk to you. Now, the danger here is we are very busy publishing, writing, syndicating, doing our business. So we have a very limited number of consultations. Okay, I do not have unlimited time to talk to unlimited numbers of people. There's only 24 hours in a day, and I've got a business to run and some sleep to take care of. So right now, today on this, as you're hearing this, if it's live, if it's recorded, there may not be 7, but I've got 7 spots right now that you can go and get into, all right? Go to authorityfusion.com/strategy. If you go to my calendar, and you might not see a whole lot of spots, you might be early in the morning or late at night, but I've got a few spots there that you can log on to. Questions and answers. I'm not going to do questions and answers today because I actually have to go and talk to one of my clients. So if you have a question, I will ask you to politely ask you to put that in our strategy session. When you go to authorityfusion.com/strategy, there is a box there where you can ask a question. So even if you don't choose to book a time with me, go ahead and fill it out and then pop the question there. If you want me to respond via email, I can. I'll probably get to that within 24 to 48 hours. And if you want to talk about it, then just click the button and schedule a call, and we'll hop on and go through it and see about getting you in the news, all right? And getting you thousands of clicks, getting you targeted traffic, making you a celebrity in your own niche, okay, in your industry, and getting your business where you want to go, all right? So I look forward to speaking with you, meeting you, and again, limited time slot, so please go right away, authorityfusion.com/strategy, and we'll talk to you very soon. This is Doug Crow from Authority Fusion. Bye-bye.